My life has been the most enchanted. It wasn't what I had anticipated. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, even if it wasn't at all what I had imagined. Every Wednesday night on Dynasty, Linda Evans turned into Crystal Carrington, the epitome of grace and virtue in the 1980s, leaving millions of Americans speechless with her golden hair and kind smile. She was more than just a famous TV personality. She was the face of a whole period in fashion, lifestyle, and the emergence of feminist goals. However, was everything we witnessed on TV accurate? Even at the height of her celebrity, there were broken marriages, painful betrayals, and long, arduous years spent battling medical and mental illnesses behind the lights and glamour. Linda Evans had a moment when she didn't want to live. She even ended up in court at one time due to a scandal that nobody could have predicted would affect such a flawless woman. Linda Evans, now 83, shares the unpleasant reality for the first time, a solitary voyage characterized by loss and incredible fortitude. What actually took place? Who caused her harm? And how did a woman who used to walk the red carpet of celebrity wind up living out her last years in peaceful seclusion away from the spotlight? This is the unsung tale of a hauntingly beautiful tragedy that combines celebrity, beauty, and sadness. Early years. Linda Evans was a timid young girl before she rose to fame on American television. She was so shy that she was unable to look people in the eye when speaking. Isn't that hard to believe? Beneath Crystal Carrington's glitz, however, was a young woman whose main ambition was to hide rather than to be noticed. Born in Hartford, Connecticut on November 18, 1942, Linda Evans came from an artistic family. While young Linda could only watch them from a distance, both of her parents were professional dancers who lit up the stage with bright confidence. The family relocated to North Hollywood when she was still a young girl, not just to support themselves, but also to pursue their artistic ambitions in the promised land of American movies. Linda had none of the characteristics of a future celebrity, having grown up under theater lights. Stillness was what her heart belonged to. Linda was the quietest of her two sisters, Carol and Kathy, who lived in a poor California house. She hardly spoke up in class and was always tucked into a corner. When she enrolled in Hollywood High School, where many famous people's artistic aspirations had been realized, everything started to change. After observing Linda's persistent timidity, a teacher recommended that she enroll in a theatrical class to boost her self-esteem. Shy, however, did not really describe it. Every time Linda had to speak in front of the class, she would throw up because she was so afraid. That student with blonde hair had trouble with more than just conversation. She struggled with her fear of being. It was not suggested that she take a drama class. It served as a lifeline. Remarkably, the stage, the precise location that ought to have caused her anxiety, became the first setting in which Linda felt comfortable expressing herself. On stage, she was no longer Linda. She was an entirely different person, and she was free to exist in that instant without suffering any harm. In her performance, the nervousness changed into emotion rather than disappearing. Linda was saved by every drama class and every little exchange of words. It was a way of life, not just a pastime. Her desire to transcend herself, rather than a desire for fame, gave rise to her enthusiasm for acting. Thus, the girl who once puked due to her dread of public speaking started down the path that would eventually make her a national celebrity. Early professional life. Sometimes one unanticipated moment can start a whole life. At the age of 15, Linda Evans experienced that moment. She had just intended to assist a friend by going to an audition that day, not to try out. "Why don't you give it a shot, too?" the director asked the timid blonde girl who was standing silently in the back. Linda gave a head shake. "I don't know how to act." However, it didn't take long to persuade. After stepping in and reading a few lines, she was cast. Surprisingly, the director went to her buddy and stated, "I'll find another role for you in the next project if you give up this one." A job, a friendship, and a turning moment. It all started with that one small gesture of generosity. Linda made her television debut in a brief commercial. However, addressing the camera was a whole metamorphosis for the girl who had previously puked due to her phobia of public speaking. Put an end to concealing. No more retreating. Linda realized then that she would never be able to lead a normal life again. Linda was a cashier at the Paramount Theater on Hollywood Boulevard when she was 16. She used to work behind the ticket booth, selling tickets for movies she had never imagined being in. However, fate has other ideas. Linda received her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, directly in front of the Paramount Theater, where she had once stood in uniform with timid eyes after she rose to fame on television years later. Sometimes it only takes one courageous step through a door to bridge the gap between dream and reality. Following that initial part, Linda started making frequent appearances in well-known TV shows at the time, including Wagon Train, The Adventures of Azzy and Harriet, and Bachelor Father. Even if her roles were brief, the audience was drawn in by her distinctive quiet appeal. The real tipping point came in 1965. In the Western television series The Big Valley, Linda was chosen to play Audra Barkley. It was her first major role, and the first time she wasn't cast as a one-dimensional character. The Barkley family's youngest daughter, Audra, was a confident, seductive woman with quiet strength and emotional depth who didn't need to be proven. Every time the show aired, millions of Americans were enthralled by Linda's graceful yet powerful portrayal of the role. Linda Evans became more than simply a well-known television character thanks to The Big Valley. It was also the first genuine test of her capacity to play a challenging, long-running role and have audiences take her seriously. Linda once remarked, "Playing Audrey Barkley helped me understand who I truly was." The show ran until 1969. Linda had entered a world of lights, cameras, and roles that would become iconic, from the quiet girl at the ticket desk. However, what she had encountered thus far was really an introduction, a role that would propel her to the pinnacle of popularity and establish Linda Evans as a television legend for a whole generation lay ahead of her. Linda Evans got her first significant television success as Audra Barkley in the critically acclaimed Western series The Big Valley from 1965 to 1969 before mesmerizing millions of people worldwide as Crystal Carrington. It was her first major role, propelling her from supporting roles into the ranks of American television actresses. Linda portrayed the youngest daughter of the Barkley family in the drama, a heroine who personified courage, beauty, and intelligence, qualities she would later raise to legendary stature in Dynasty. More significantly, her strong relationship with renowned co-star Barbara Stanwyck went beyond a work-related recollection. Linda's craft and character were shaped by it. She then revealed that Stanwyck was the one who taught her self-control, graceful demeanor, and, above all, how to command the screen without ever having to yell. Linda entered the 1980s as an icon, ready for her turn to shine, rather than as a new face, thanks to her strong foundation from The Big Valley. Linda Evans' most well-known performance was as Crystal Carrington in the popular television series Dynasty. She became a global celebrity as a result of her portrayal, which made her a representation of morality and beauty on the small screen. When Dynasty debuted in 1981, the tale of the Carringtons, a wealthy family divided by love, betrayal, and internal strife, quickly caught the attention of viewers all around the world. One of the main characters in the show was Linda's character, Crystal Carrington. As Blake Carrington, John Forsythe's wife, Crystal was shown to be perceptive, kind, and quietly determined. One of the most defining aspects of the show was her strained relationship with Joan Collins, Blake's ex-wife Alexis Colby. Not only were the intense confrontations between Crystal and Alexis unforgettable, but they also contributed to the series' success. Week after week, American audiences were left speechless by the iconic catfight sequences, which ranged from dramatic fights in the swimming pool to confrontations in opulent chambers and were planned with the intensity of epic wars. Linda's indispensable presence in Dynasty is demonstrated by the fact that she appeared in 204 of the 220 episodes. She even remembered crying when she learned the show had been given a second season renewal, information she learned while in Australia filming a Love Boat episode. She went on to say that it was the best gift of her professional life. Linda received numerous significant honors for her portrayal of Crystal Carrington, including the 1982 Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Television Drama. She won numerous People's Choice Awards and was nominated for the Golden Globes every year between 1982 and 1985, which is evidence of how much the public loved her. Linda's status as one of the most well-known television actresses of the era was further cemented in 1983 when she received an Emmy nomination. The phenomenon known as Crystal Mania, a worldwide frenzy for an unprecedented female TV figure, was even given a name by the media. A global fashion trend was also initiated by the role. With lavish fur coats, glitzy evening gowns, and extravagant costumes, Crystal's style created a new benchmark for millions of women by perfectly balancing power with gentleness. The person in charge of Dynasty's wardrobe, designer Nolan Miller, was told to make sure Crystal always looked like a real queen by never repeating an outfit. Linda's distinctive thick blonde hair, tasteful makeup, piercing eyes, and neutral-toned lips soon made her famous, beloved, and emulated by women of all ages. Linda's sense of style off-screen was equally impressive. Long tailored jackets, white shirts, and trousers created a simple yet elegant ensemble. Her notoriety peaked when a kissing scene with Rock Hudson, who was portraying Kreisel's ex-boyfriend, sparked a worldwide outcry. Not because of the scene's content, but because Hudson later received an HIV/AIDS diagnosis. The encounter became the focal point of a national medical and societal discussion as fears surged about whether Linda might have gotten the virus from the kiss. Linda was more than just an actress in that moment. She rose to prominence in America's larger discussion about the stigma and anxiety associated with AIDS. Linda's Dynasty outfits did more than only show